Welcome to MMA Daily, episode number 7. He will not submit him. The police report regarding the arrest of UFC bantamweight Irwin Rivera has been released. Earlier on Thursday, it was reported that Rivera stabbed his sisters and was charged on 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder. However, according to the police report, he was charged with attempted murder. Both sisters are alive and doing well. Former UFC champion Eddie Alvarez has reacted to the news that the UFC bantamweight Rivera has been charged with attempted murder. Something must have went terribly wrong, or Irwin's brain or mind needs to be checked, because I know this man along with many teammates and coaches. He is all love. I'm truly sad to see this and praying for his sisters and family. This is not Irwin. Cris Cyborg expresses her interest to moving up to 155 pounds to face Kayla Harrison.
And one of the things we didn't talk about last year was Kayla Harrison fighting at 145. She did manage to make the weight for Invicta, and she got a pretty impressive win. What did you think of her performance? Because, obviously there's a lot to unpack from that.
I saw she make the weight. I didn't watch the fight. But, a couple fights I see her, I believe she's fighting girls below her skill, like the girls not her level. But she's doing great, and this is a strategy to her manager. And of course, you have to go get it. But I believe this year she's gonna fight for PFL. She's gonna be the tournament 155. Mm-hmm. And if you be the champion, this tournament, for sure I would like to make one match with her. I think all the fans would like to watch. And I would like to go on 55. I believe before I retire, I want to help build that division. And if she's young. And let's see if she'd like to do one real match for her.
The war of words between current and former UFC flyweight champions has begun, as Deiveson Figueiredo responded to Henry Cejudo's recent trash talk with a video he posted on Instagram.
Hey Cejudo, look at me, fatso. I'm going to knock you out. This, my middle name is Danger. Cabeça de Girimum.
Blachowicz, the UFC light heavyweight champion, is slated to defend his title against Adesanya, the promotion's middleweight champion, in the main event at UFC 259, March 6. Should either fail to make it to the cage, it sounds like Glover Teixeira will be willing to answer the call. Of course, Teixeira told MMA Fighting when asked if he would agree to be a backup fighter in March. I've never rooted for anyone to get hurt, but I'll be rooting for an injury. UFC bantamweight champion Petr Yan reopened as the betting favorite over Aljamain Sterling for their upcoming title bout at UFC 259. Yan and Sterling were previously slated to fight at UFC 256 in December, but the fight had to be rescheduled for March 6 at UFC 259. The betting odds for the contest previously opened with Yan as a minus 185 betting favorite and Sterling as a plus 160 betting underdog. Now that the odds have been released, Yan is still favored to win the bout, only not as much this time around. Sterling is a plus 125 and Yan is a minus 145. Logan is currently scheduled for a high-profile exhibition bout with undefeated boxing legend Floyd Mayweather Jr. At the same time, his brother Jake has also been making headlines in the combat world, having recently knocked out former NBA star Nate Robinson and called out host of MMA stars, most notably the former 2-division UFC champion Conor McGregor. The YouTube star turned boxer Logan Paul has a message for Dana White.
Another thing I don't like about it, besides like everything, is bro, he pissed off.
I love your moments when you do that.
He pissed off Dana White. Yo.
Oh, he's been going real hard on Dana White.
So hard on Dana White, and now Dana has like grouped us together, which sucks. Which sucks.
I saw that.
I love Dana White. I love Dana White. I love the UFC, and now Dana's mad at me because he thinks we're the same person. I saw the meme. Where you guys think we're those two brothers. Come on, I got it right here. What's that movie?
Hey, is he the guy who's is it Dumb and Dumber? Right?
No, this one. Oh, I know what you people think.
Oh, shit,
I know you think we're these people.
Is that Step Up? You got served. I mean,
fuck. We're so different. And I love the UFC fights. I want to do a UFC fight one day. Like, I'm not saying now. Like, let me get my skills up.
So what do you have to say to Dana?
Dana, take me back. Take me back. I'm not Jake. Please. Bro, he's given me tickets to go to UFC fights before. Like, fuck. Fuck!
Chael Sonnen discusses the Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje rumors.
There's been a rumor going around about Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje. I love it. And by the way, when you look at the pieces left on the board, it seems like it's going to be Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. So Charles Oliveira would like a title shot. Okay, great. No surprise. Definitely good enough to get one. And all the boys want a title shot. I mean, I'm not bringing you anything that you actually needed to be told, but it's relevant to the story because his manager came out and said, and I quote, Charles Oliveira wants a crack at the UFC title, not Justin Gaethje. Charles Oliveira came out and said, so Charles Oliveira's manager, Diego Lima, then came out and said, he's won 8 fights in a row. Charles Oliveira came out and said, so his manager, Lima, then come out and said, he ran over Tony Ferguson. Tony had won 12 fights until the title fight up to that point. He's very good, and he made a very compelling case for him. Charles Oliveira came out and said, and that is why Charles Oliveira is not getting the title shot. I mean, in all fairness, it's a very sound argument. The guy's handsome. He's the new kid on the block. He's got everything going for him. And by the way, I'm not here to hold him back. He's going to get his title shot. He might even get the damn title. That guy's a stud. I'm on board. But when the most compelling things and the most interesting things that are said about him since his biggest win over Tony were said by his manager, that's why he's not getting the title shot. Where is Oliveira standing up to this? And by the way, Oliveira, even if on accident, made his fight with Gaethje very interesting because he said, I want the title, not Gaethje, who got steamrolled. Well, nobody talks bad about Justin Gaethje, and if you do, you don't get away with it. So, I mean, it's one of these things where he has now aligned himself with Justin Gaethje, and that's a very interesting match. There is no title shot, though. Now,
for the first time since UFC 248 last March, fans will be in attendance at a UFC event. Starting January 16th and ending with UFC 257, a limited number of fans will be in attendance at Abu Dhabi on Fight Island. The Abu Dhabi Department of Culture and Tourism announced that fans will be permitted on their social media accounts. Abu Dhabi did not announce how many fans will be allowed in the arena. Michael Bisping discusses if Dustin Poirier can submit Conor McGregor at UFC 257.
Another one that keeps popping up. A lot of people think that Dustin Poirier is going to submit Conor McGregor. One, Daryl McCarthy here says that. A couple guys on here think that, Dustin Poirier wins by submission in this card coming up later this month.
Yeah, okay, that's fun. I mean, I'll tell you what, Conor's got a good ground game. Just because he's a striker, all right. I guess if you were to say a weakness to Conor, you'd say the conditioning, and as he's more of a 1, 2, maybe 3 round fighter, and as he goes on, he gets a bit tired. However, in Khabib, in the Khabib fight, pardon me, he did well. His cardio was good. He got choked out in the 4th round, but still, he looked good. The takedown defense was good. Poirier is tough, and he's going to be a better version of a fighter than what he was in the first one. And of course, he got knocked out in that first one pretty quickly in the first round. Now he's at a different weight class, but that might be a way of surprising Conor. But I don't think, if Khabib had trouble taking Conor down, Lewis, I don't think Poirier is really going to surprise him with a takedown.
Yeah, I mean, look, Conor McGregor, it's easy to say there's weaknesses in his game. And, look, the reality is he's a pretty goddamn complete fighter. He's super athletic. He's looked good everywhere he's gone. And he's done really well against high-level grapplers that were supposed to just be able to take him down and take advantage of him there. We saw him lose submissions to Nate Diaz and to Khabib. But I mean, those are guys that are the best of the best at that game specifically. So I don't think Poirier is going to win this fight. I think Conor's on his way, and I'll give a prediction right now, on his way back to a title run. We'll see what happens. I know that Khabib, I guess, who was doing an interview about Khabib saying possibly being interested to come back against George St. Pierre?
That's his manager, Ali Abdelaziz.
Yeah. So that
never going to happen.
You never know. Who knows? Maybe that could happen, but I don't think we're gonna. I think my prediction. I think we're gonna see gold around Conor's waist by the end of the year, and that I don't think that's too far of a stretch. And no offense to Dustin Poirier, I think he's incredible, but after the way we saw Conor come back and how motivated he looked against Cowboy, that was like real, like he was really on fire in that fight. And I don't think Conor would be coming back if he wasn't ready to go on a real run. He doesn't need the money.
The way Dustin Poirier would get a submission is to beat a submission out of him. And what I mean by that is not to make Conor tap to strikes. That's not what I mean. But generally, you get submissions out of people when they get tired, when they're getting beaten up, when you've got them on the ground and you get on top of them and then you start pouring on the pressure with the ground and pound. That's when people start making excuses. That's when they start flailing and presenting opportunities. You know, if you get them in mount and you start punching them in the face, the arms come up to protect themselves. That's when you present an arm bar, or you can step off to the side. You can take a head and arm choke. Or they turn their back and then they give up a rear naked choke. When people are tired, when people are taking punishment, that's when they make mistakes. And now, yeah, Poirier could capitalize on a moment like that, but that would be the only way. I don't think he's going to push him up against the fence, get a takedown, pass guard, and submit him. Not to say that he couldn't. Not saying that at all. Poirier is very good, but Conor's decent as well. I mean, all you got to do is look at that first fight with Nate Diaz when Conor caught a kick. Diaz caught a kick, and then Conor went to his back. Conor hit a pretty high level sweep on Nate Diaz, and Nate Diaz, as we know, has got a great ground game. So I think that right there in itself speaks volumes. So, yeah, I mean, I like nice predictions like that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Dana, take me back. Take me back. I'm not Jake. Please. Bro, he's giving me tickets to go to UFC fights before. Like, fuck.
I don't give a fuck.